なんだ？わだえな。
お食事はいつでも大丈夫です。もちろん身がすぐでもビリ座ってまったりパンケーキ。それでいいですよね。もうこんな時間ですね。おまけのクリームはいかがですか？ゴー！
我は永遠に不滅。平凡の炎。
ここはスカモールホローなのだ。
Oh, good. It did checkpoint here.
あいつはどこに行ったのだ。
I assumed it would. It seemed like it was.
高危険度エーテリアスのシグナ
I
ル
wasn't 100% sure.
位置の特定に成功しました。目標に接近。そのまま前進してください。
空間がめちゃくちゃになってる。ぐるぐる目が回るのだ。迷子になってないのだ。黒騎士がいるから大丈夫だよ。こっちだよ。ついてきて。エーテリアスなのだ。ターゲットのエーテル反応が弱い。こいつらが邪魔してるのかも。さっさと片付けちゃおう。そうなのだ。まだ追えるよ。おお、ここだったのだ。こいつを見るのは久しぶりなのだ。このポンプみたいなやつのこと？これって何なの？ノルムーが前に作ってたボンプ・ザ・ジャイアントなのだ。完成する前に落っこちてフォローのこんなとこまで沈んじゃったけど。で、昔話をしてる場合じゃないのだ。さっさとあいつを追うのだ。ストップ。ボンプがこっちに来てるみたい。ちょっと隠れよ。ハッキーなのだ。空準局の仕事中っぽいけど遠すぎてよく聞こえねえのだ。フェアリー、近くのデバイスに入って音声を拾えない？
繰り返すようだけど、君たち2人が任務中にしていたことは空準局の威信に傷をつけかねないことなんだ。君がトビーを怒らせたからトビーも君の体に落書きしたんだろう。
かわいそうだけどちょっと笑っちゃうね。
それでトビーは今どこに？フォローの中で単独行動。危ないぞ。どうアッキー隊長、すぐにトビーを探して連れ戻そう。
Oh, it's the scribble that one of the Bangbu had written down.
シグナル様へのご報告までに見つけなきゃ。
アッキーたちはトビーを探すのにお熱なのだ。だってリンちゃん。ねえ、さっきのボンプに
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it looked like that.
算数局で拾ったあれ？
ああ、よく考えたらこのマークでも
劇場で落書きしたボンプも侵食被害に遭った子だって言ってたよね。算数局でシンギュラリークが発生した場所も全ての元凶はシンギュラリークとそこからつながる重複空間で逆かも。得意点があるせいでボンプがなくなったんだ。
ボンプがいたからボンプの体にシンギュラリークを引き起こ
じゃああの子ともしかしたらさっきの怪物も自分の意志じゃなくて。
ちょっと考えさせて。でもそうだとしたらアッキーに落書きした。
確かにもしあのエーテリアスが得意点に引き寄せられてるなら、
トビーは行方不明になったばかりなのだ。
うまくいけば私たち
そのタチに行こっか。
行こう、こっち。
道があったなんてね。
フェアリー、トビーの信号を探してくれる？
検索中。トビー作戦ボンプ信号を発見。ターゲットのエーテリアスと逃亡行です。
あの子は生きてるのだ。ノルマたちは間違ってなかったのだ。何の音なのだ。
あのエーテリアスだね。
行き止まりなのだ。
近くに出口。
操作台を見てみる。どれどれ。
はい。
ちょっと待つ。隠し。
道があったよ。こんなに空間が歪んでるのなんて初めてだよ。
エーテリアスがたくさんいる。ここは急いでるのに。おりゃおりゃはーい。見てあっち。おや。
That's the thing, is there's that thing in the distance. Why can't I aim at that?
この力は内緒にしたかったけど、君の前でならいいかな。
ボイモジュール火力全開。やった。
Oh shit! How do you wait this early? Oh, is this? Wait, what? I have to get up from the other side, right? Yeah, probably from the other side. Whatever. Okay, so there's something over there. Is it blocked off? Is that how I missed that? I just want to check real quick. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is blocked off. Huh, maybe I'm actually supposed to get in from that way then. Forget whatever. Oh, that's something to explore later. Let's actually do the main story. Okay.
警告、追跡対象トビーのリアルタイム座標をロストしました。一特定機能の損傷が原因と推測されます。
急がなきゃ。
あれ発射剣を抜いてノルムの時間なのだ。
消えることのない炎真っ二つにして。
Honestly, Norma's not that bad. She's a stun unit too, so that's... Oh fuck, I took too much damage. Yeah, she's a stun unit too, which is generally pretty good.
What's that?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's rare that there's actually multiple... Oh, this was the right track anyway. Okay, cool. Actually, I thought the thing that was at the entrance of that was an actual monster just like curled up near the entrance. Let's see, yeah, let's do some sort of separate zone, unless it's like some sort of boss. Let's get my total eyes on.
残された時間は多くなさそうだね。
Oh, but that didn't. Oh, how are you sure it's Toby? It didn't have the mark on it. Did it grind itself up in that? Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna. Dude, what the fuck was that? Oh, is that the new? Jesus Christ! Look at that thing. Oh, I thought she was gonna grab us and run, not attack that thing. So is that like the new? Is that a new mega one like Nineveh? I forget what they're called. Like the super ethereals, like the mega ethereals. Because like Nineveh was like this insanely powerful one that chills in Hollow Zero. Is this the same type? I think there's a specific. They call it. Oh shit! We're about in the sky. Goddamn. Really? Do you, like, why do you charge towards the ground? That's pretty badass. Uh-oh. Oh, we're here still. Oh, okay. We're still in the hollow. I thought for a second that we were like, I thought this was the city. I thought we were still in the city. I thought like we had actually like crash landed in the city. God damn, that thing is so fucking badass. Yeah, it does beg the question of if she can fly, then why the fuck doesn't she just fly us away? I get that she's trying to like distract us, right? Or distract the thing so we can escape. But again, like where the fuck are we going? Are we gonna get it to go through a fissure and then close it, like snap it in half or something? Wait, what? Who's carrying Norma? Oh, I see. Norma was carrying the bang. I thought for a second that I always. Are we gonna close it? And oh, cool! I was right. So we are gonna close the fissure and like snap it in half or something. That's gonna help us? Interesting. Oh no, we're sucking. Oh, I thought we were gonna like close the fissure and like snap it in half, like chop off its head by closing the fissure. You know, it's like how teleportation is like bending space. If you close the teleportation while they're halfway through, wouldn't you like chop them directly, like chop them in half? Like I thought that's what we're trying to do. So it is a shame that it just got sucked back in. It also is kind of interesting though. So like I thought Pyrois was like the manifestation of our power, or like I thought it was the other creature that was inside us, right? Right? I thought it was the other creature that was inside us. That was just going along with us. But the fact of the matter is, Pyrois was already outside of our body, and when we were trying to use this power, that voice was still in our heads. I assume that, like, when Pyrois was out, that voice is now in Pyrois, right? But it seems like, I don't know. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's just one of those things. Just how we can control. Maybe we have a no, because it doesn't seem like we're directly controlling it, right? It's not. It doesn't seem like it's like we're, because like the fact that like it took us inside its little like, the fact that it took us inside its little chest cavity to like hide us and stuff. It did that before we even knew it could do that. And you could argue, well, maybe we knew it could do that, but just not like consciously. We subconsciously knew it could, but. Oh, are we going to take it out? Yeah, so we took it out of Vivian. We took corruption out of Vivian. But yeah, that is... Okay, so Remiel's going to have to... Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to have to get the fuck out. And she's so hot. I'm definitely pulling for her, but yeah, so it seems like Pyrois like wasn't under our direct control. It seems like it was an intelligent entity that was just going along with us and helping us. You know, it seems like it was an intelligent entity, like that was just helping us, not like something that we're directly controlling. So that's why I just kind of assumed that it was the voice in our head. You know, the voice that represents our power. I thought it was just that voice was, you know, controlling Pyrois to help us. You know, we convinced him, sure, could you help us? And you're like, okay, I guess I'll help you. And then it's basically been manning Pyrois. That's why I thought it was. But the fact that like Pyrois was already out, active and helping us, and then when we try to use our power, the voice was still there chatting to us. Does make me wonder then, is it really piloting Pyrois? Or is this like, or is it just still more of a split off from ourselves? Is Pyrois a part of our subconscious that has manifested itself using that power that we have? Because it does seem like intelligent. It does seem like it can communicate. I mean, like, you know, it was able to put us in its chest cavity in a little black hole thing. When it landed, it dusted itself off and looked cool, right? Like, so clearly it has a personality to a degree, right? So I'm kind of curious, what exactly is controlling it? Because it doesn't seem like it's under our direct control. It doesn't seem like our thoughts are making it move, you know? But it also does, you know, coordinate with us very well, because, like, hell, our quick assist onto the field is, you know, us showing up, them showing up first, and us shooting a gun, and then our burst, or our ultimate, is all us help, you know, assisting it. So.
記憶ユニットに進行中のプロセスあり認識セキュリティパスワード何フェアリーこのパスワード
最短所要時間約
他に手は侵食はもうでもそれじゃ命は助かっても記憶が全部それは本部にとって助かったと言えるのだ
Well, that's a false equivalency, right? Humans lose their memories. Would you say a human that's lost their memory is dead? No, of course not. You know, because you're like, for a Bangboo, how's that any different than dying? It is. It's very different. Because humans can lose their memory, and you wouldn't say the human is dead. If I lost my memory, you wouldn't be like, oh, this guy's dead. Like, I understand conceptually, sure, right? If you lose your memory, your behavior and personality is going to undergo a huge shift, right? Because your personality is kind of built on your memories. You build your personality from your actions and reactions throughout your life. Your past experience define who you are to a degree. So yes, losing your memory. You could say you die as your previous self. Your previous self dies, and now you are a new self. But you know, no one would ever say you're dead, because you know, yourself is inextricably linked to your body. Now, I understand for machine intelligence, it's definitely a more interesting, because machine intelligence is, in theory, it can just be bounced from machine to machine. Bodies are far less important because you can just take, you know, their personality, their core or whatever, and install it in a new body. Boom, you're the same entity as before, you're just in a new body. So the link between body and mind is definitely weaker for machines. But is Valina gonna give us the key?
ノルム、これを入力。落ち着い。
Oh, is that the? Or no, did she get that from Dragonite? Maybe.
認識。
これでロニコは
Oh, Valina is the angel. Wait, that's well. First of all, you're like, oh, just Toby only gave the key to the angel. It's like, well, first of all, the security key for a Bangboo. There's no way in hell only the Bangboo knows it. They're like the people who made the Bangboo know every Bangboo security key. So the fact that she's high enough in the organization means that she might be able to get access to it. Now, obviously, yes, it could be that so there should be two people who know it, right? The Bangboo itself, it seems. I mean, even still, I'm surprised you even tell the Bangboo their own security key. You know, you might just not tell them ever and just leave it as a company secret. But regardless, the company should know too. So, you know, if she's able to request it from, like, whoever manages the Bangboo department, they can just check their records and be like, oh, Toby, okay, because of the extenuating circumstances, I'll give you the key. It also could be Valina just has the security clearance regardless. So if she requests it, they'll just give it to her without even extenuating circumstances. But even still, if Valina's supposed to be the angel, that is really suspicious, because we were tracking the angel into the CCD. I mean, to be fair, that's where she works, so it's not crazy, but it was also in the middle of the night. So what the fuck was she doing? Unless maybe that's supposed to be just bringing up suspicions on her. They're like, oh, maybe Valina is the mole. But it's not super likely, because basically anytime we've been, like, betrayed, it's never been a playable character. You know? Like, Isolde, even though she had a really stylistic appearance and looks really cool, and you're like, man, she's so hot, and then I hope she becomes a playable character, she never was, and because she was the evil bad guy. Same for Sarah, right? We've never had an enemy ever become a playable character. All the playable characters are, are basically on our side. Now, it could be like one of those things that maybe she did work for the enemy still. You know, maybe there was a goal or whatever. And to be fair, we don't even know what the angel was actually doing. It's like, this could be a red herring. We don't know what the angel was doing. Like, so first of all, we don't know 100% it was her, right? And even if she was Angel, because she in theory could have another method of getting security, getting that security key, because she is high enough in the organization, in the company, or she might be able to. She might have connections, and might be able to access that kind of shit. So we don't know that. So it could be that the reason why they were doing that was just to throw us off the trail, to be like, hey, to make us suspect her as being Angel, even though she had another method of getting the key beyond just that. Second of all, even if she was Angel, does that even mean anything? Like, they worship Angel, but like, I don't know, like, I don't think we ever like saw anything that was like, oh yes, Angel is bad. You know, I don't think, like, I don't think they ever properly correlated that Angel is, I don't think they ever did a proper correlation to say like, oh yes, Angel was the one who gave us these marks. Angel was the one who told us to be here. Maybe they did. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I could go back and double check my last VOD to see what they were speaking of when we were overhearing them. Because like, we were able to triangulate and say, oh cool, Angel was in the CCD, but like, you know, anyone could be in the CCD, right? Remiel was in the CCD too. It could be that Angel was chasing after Remiel for whatever reason. I mean, they did say, I mean, when we did find Remiel, we did find that that Angel was like multiple floors up above, and that's kind of where we found all the other shit going on. But then again, it also could be one of those things where Angel's actually chasing after the actual perpetrator. So it's kind of like, we have no proof. It could be that Angel is trying to save the Bangbu from whoever's corrupting them. And that's why they're constantly around these big points of interest, because she's chasing after the actual villain. And so she's always at the scene of the crime, because she's just always getting getting the slip. So it makes her look suspicious, even though she's actually chasing someone, but whatever. Obviously, this is just chapter 1. There's many more chapters of this season, so we'll see how everything unfolds. But I am kind of curious if they're going to like talk about that big centipede thing, because obviously the size of it and the seeming power of it is very reminiscent to what Nineveh is, because we've seen Miyabi fight against Nineveh and basically not succeed, you know, not kill Nineveh. And now we have Remiel, who fought against the centipede and also wasn't able to kill it, and barely was even able to stop it. So it does make it seem like this is another, because like, and both of them are Void Hunters, and so you could, and it's hard to say who's like the stronger one. Like, you might think that Remiel is the stronger one because she's one of the original Void Hunters, so maybe her weapon is more, maybe the original Void Hunter's weapons are more powerful, and Miyabi doesn't have an original one. She just has another powerful weapon that's not up to snuff. It also could be that Remiel's one is never really one designed for combat. Like, it's wings, so maybe she's more designed for support. So she just doesn't have the firepower. Which might be why she's maybe on the same level of power as Miyabi, even with a original Void Hunter weapon. Hard to say. Obviously, we haven't really seen proper comparisons, but it does seem that that kind of creature is one of those ethereals, one of those type of ethereals, the super mega ethereal. They've told us what they were. The problem is they told us when Nineveh was first introduced, which was like 2 years ago. So like 2 years ago, they were like, look, here's Nineveh. It's this type of ethereal that we get with the name of, like, this is the name of ethereals we give to the ethereals that are like insanely powerful. And so I'm just like, shit, it's been so long. Like, it's been so long, I have no clue who it is. Like, what that name was again.
フォローで爆発する限り周囲に影響はほとんどないけど、フォローの外で起きると、これがこういうある種人為的にできた特異点は性質も減衰期も普通の特異点とほぼ同じだから、観察したくらいじゃ違いがわからないのが厄介と言えるね。
以上が外務警察局の調査による最新の結論ですわ、ドラキナ様。
Yeah, so there's that too.
よくわかったわ、ベリナ。
So, like, obviously she's communicating with her now. So the question, of course, is that depending, is this? I guess we've left that zone. So maybe she only got into contact with her now, but also she could have been not communicating with her back then too, and that's how she got the key.
それでベリナ。
当事者のトビーは危険な状態を脱したものの、論理コアの修復。
もうベリナったら相変わらず隙がないんだから。犯人の可能性は2つ。1つはロスカリファに潜入した外部の人間。かつて侵入したレミエールと、かつて逃げ出したロックスプリングがいい例よ。また決して彼らが最後ではない。
Oh, he managed to escape? I kind of thought he was just, like, left behind in the hollow. Like, I thought Lockspring was... Because, like, he was one of the experimental Bangbu for combat and stuff. I just assumed that he broke down outside while fighting in the hollow and was just left there. Not that he actually escaped from Rascofile. I can't remember if he mentioned that. See, like, he constantly broke down, so I just assumed that you just left him there. You'd be like, oh, well, he broke down again. Okay, we'll just leave him here. Or they just weren't able to recover him, and then he just kind of went off and did his own thing. But yeah, Remiel, I mean, Remiel's a tough one, though. Because Remiel obviously knows of the existence of Sunbringer, knows of the existence of this location, and she can fly. So, keeping her out is special, right? Like, it's hard to imagine that anyone else could have that level of ability to get access to this location, but anyway, so, but yeah, obviously it definitely seems like it's more on the inside, because, like, someone's able to infect these Bangbu and cause these things, especially, like, infect Bangbu that, you know, supposedly have pretty unfettered access to, like, this was, like, in the middle of the CCD department, so it's like, they were able to get a hold of Bangbu that have relatively high clearance, that could get to these areas. So it does more lean towards an inside job. Which do you consider more dangerous? Yes, which do you consider more dangerous? An outside factor has managed to sneak in, or someone on the inside who could betray us at any moment, who we have no clue who they are? You know, of course it's the fucking insider that's far more risky. Because, like, for an outsider, you can just look for outsiders, right? Like, your current security system can work to find anyone not registered, right? You can go on more stringent security checks to look for anyone who's not registered. But the problem with insiders is that they are registered, they'll be able to bypass security and get through security without any worry whatsoever, because the system recognizes them, which allows them to betray you, especially at really bad moments.
エルダみたいな言い方になっちゃって。そうね。少し趣向。
私？あくまで個人的にだ。でも大っぴらにやるのはなんかまずい気がするっていうか、余計なパニックを起こしちゃうかもだし、それで犯人に気づかれちゃう。
その通りね。正直はいいことだけれど。というわけでベリナ。
おおむね合格でいいのではないでしょう。本件はサソリのようなエーテリアス並びに巨大なエーテリアスはそれぞれギルタブルル、バシュムと命名しました。
What a weird name. So Bashmu is the big, like a centipede one.
ちょっとした
ごめんなさい。でもさすがはとにかくしばらくの間真相を知るのは私たちだけ。
Darn, I was kind of hoping that when they were going to talk about the giant one, they would mention that it's the same power level as Nineveh, and then maybe hopefully tell us what type of ethereal that's considered. Like because I'm thinking like I mean obviously because it's a centipede, I'm thinking One Punch Man, the huge centipede in One Punch Man, and how like and then of course it just makes me think that that those types of monsters are like catastrophe level monsters, and I know they have a terminology for that level of ethereal. I just can't remember what it is. I don't even like the Butcher. The Butcher had its own type too. They're like, oh yeah, the Butcher is like crazy strong and stuff, but we still managed to beat that. Whereas like Nineveh, we fought against it in Hollow Zero, but it's always been you fight, and once its health is gone, it runs away. It just floats away. So like we've never actually beaten it really. It's just kind of like staving it off until it goes away.
ノルム、ボンプたちのワクチンプラグインはなるべく早めにお願いね。異常が発生。
Yeah, it would be really helpful to know how exactly they're being infected. Like, it can't be the mark, right? Because that was the other weird thing too, is that Toby had a mark on his chest, but then when we recovered him, he didn't. So it's like, where the fuck did that go, right? And then like for the other Bangboo, we saw the mark drawn on a clipboard. So it's like, does it need to be drawn on them? You know? Because like the clipboard one wasn't, unless maybe it was drawn on the one that had the clipboard, and he also drew the same symbol on the clipboard, so the one on himself disappeared. But then again, it's like, how were they corrupted? Like, what specifically was done to them to enable them to trigger these singularity leakages? You know, so knowing that will definitely help us. Because you're like, oh, create a vaccine for a condition we have no clue how to like create a vaccine for something and we have no clue how it starts, right? It's like going to someone and being like, hey, create a vaccine for this condition, and all we know the symptoms are a cough. So just create a vaccine to cure all diseases that present with a cough. You know, it's just like that's how vague it is. Like you have no clue what it's even trying to do. You know. You have no clue how the corruption is being performed, so how are you gonna like prevent it, right? Unless maybe you have something like, you know, oh, at the first sign of any sort of corruption, you just completely isolate the Logic Core, and the Logic Core is required to continue with it. Like maybe the Bangboo needs to do something, and if you're able to block away, shut down its Logic Core at the first sign of corruption before it can complete the action, then you can stop it. Maybe something like that. But again, like we don't know clue what is causing it.
それは犯人の計画のうちなのか。今の段階では判断ができないけれど。ボンプを傷つけるのはあくまで犯人の手段であって目的じゃない。この点において私とベリナの見解は一致しているはずね。
Sorry about that.
はい。そしてドラキナ様、まもなくロスカリファの祭典に先立ち、当該からお客様がお見えになる頃合いです。
上陸を遅らせることがでというより、一度風が吹き始めた以上、水面に波紋が広がるのを止められる人はいない。ボンプを傷つけた犯人はもちろん懸念事項だけど、始まり大丈夫。改めてこの難関を乗り越えたあなたたちにおめでとうを言わせて。ボンプたちはサモン会の要求を取り下げたし、これから真実を知るにつれて。
さて、この件はひとまずこれで一区切りね。
Okay, so this definitely seems to be like the end of the story. This definitely seems to be.
ベリナが天使だったなんて。
Oh wait. Oh, okay. So no, she is the angel. Okay, okay.
総監島でボンプをカウンセリングしてたのがベリナさんだったなんて。
Okay. I thought that might have been a red herring. I thought the whole like, oh, they were suspecting that because she had the key. I didn't realize. I thought they might have been like, I thought she might have had another path, you know, to get the key, and we were just trying to.
あの場所はドラキナ様が手配してくださった。
Oh, okay.
きっかけは定年を控えたボンプに通信大した慰めにもならなかったでしょうけれど、
I see, I
話を聞い
see.
てあげたわ。島を離れるボンプのデータをチェックできる権限は外景局を統括する私だけが持っている。
Oh, okay.
夜に外形。
ベリナさんはずっと。
Yeah, I mean, I know why she doesn't tell, because they're already incredibly afraid of her,
でもいっ
so they don't want her. She doesn't want to
よかったんじゃない？
drive them away.
なんでずっと黙ってたのだ？ベリ。
よく考えてちょうだい、ノルム。もしこのことをボンプたちにどうしても他に方法がない場合、それにこれはあくまでして当然そうでしょ、ノルム。
そういえば。
Yeah, Norma's designing the core that would allow them to wipe just the confidential information while leaving their personality and their interpersonal relationships intact.
ノルムが
Which is weird,
新しい論理コアを推進しているわけはね。それがあって初めてボンプたちの
Yeah, actually, and this is exactly how technology works, right? Because you might be like, because people who don't understand technology think things are just so easy. They're like, oh, well, like, why don't you just do this? You know, like, this other game does this, why don't you do this? Like, a good example is, like, Genshin. So, like, Honkai Star Rail has a lot of systems in place to make it easy to, like, re-roll relics. And Honkai Star Rail had this long before Genshin did. You know, the ability to craft your own relics, to set main stats. Now, eventually, Genshin did add this. And, like, this is also not the best example, because this is something that can be easily just programmed in. But, like, the idea that, like, so Honkai Star Rail, when you roll relics, it will tell you how many times it rolled into each thing. But Genshin did never do that. But the problem comes from the fact that, well, how do you add that feature to Genshin, right? And it's like, well, Honkai Star Rail, the reason why Honkai Star Rail is able to tell you, oh, yeah, you rolled... Your max level relic rolled this many times into this many times. It's because they created a variable to store that. So when you are rolling for your relic, when you are rolling for it, it stores it as a variable. It's like, hey, you rolled attack percent, cool. We're gonna increment the. So like in their relics, they have just a few variables in the structure of that variable, where it's like, okay. Here's the variable where we store the main stat for this relic, and here's 4 variables where we store the substats for this relic, and then here's another variable where we store the number of times it rolled. So like for the variable, so like let's say variable the substat 1 is attack percent. So you store, okay, this is attack percent, and this is its value. So it's like it's attack percent value, and then you just have a third variable afterwards to say the number of times rolled into it, which all start at 0, but as you roll into it more, so let's say it rolls into it twice, well, all you're going to be changing is the number of times it rolled into it variable, and then the value. So it's like, okay, well, here's attack percent, here's its current value, and then the number of times rolled into it is 2. And you might even store like the base value too. So it's like here's its initial value, here's its current value, and then here's the number of rolls into it, right? And that's what you store. But the problem with Genshin is when Genshin came out, they didn't have those variables. They didn't necessarily have a variable that stored the number of times something rolled into a relic. You know, when you're rolling artifacts, and if you don't have that variable, you have no data. And so that's why implementing the same system in Genshin is actually much harder. I mean, it's not harder to implement. You can easily just add a variable. The problem is making it apply retroactively, right? Because all your stuff, like let's say, like as we showed in Honkai Star Rail, to do re-rolling and stuff, you have to have the initial starting value so that when you re-roll, you know what your starting value was, and then you continue rolling. So you have to have 4 variables. You have to have the substat type, like attack percent, crit rate, stuff like that. You have to have its initial value, you have to have its current value, and you have to have the number of rolls into it. So there's 4 things you have to keep. Whereas Genshin artifacts might have only kept 2 values. It might have only kept the type of the substat and the current value. And when you first get it, its current value is equal to its initial value. And then when you're rolling into it, all it could be doing is just changing the current value to the new current value based on if it rolled into it or not. It might not store its initial value at all. It just comes with its initial value. So that's why like maybe re-rolling would be impossible, because all it's doing is just modifying the current value. And once that value is modified, you don't know what the original value was. And then you're also not recording how many times it rolled into it. So it's like you don't know how many to undo, right? So like therein lies the problem. Is like shit, you don't even have the variables you need to properly roll it back, right? And obviously adding those values is fine. It's super easy to add those values. Just change the variables to add, change the structure type to add those, initial value, current value, and number of rolls. But the problem is you can't retroactively apply that, because all the other artifacts were rolled without these variables, and they just, even though they now have these variables, they're basically 0, or they're basically So basically that's the whole thing, is that people think that you can just be like, oh, I'll just add a new feature, oh, this game does this well. It's like, why this game's able to do this is because they designed the game to have that feature right from the beginning. And for some things, it would require them to completely overhaul the system just to bring that functionality into it. Like Final Fantasy XIV has a lot of problems like that too, where there's a lot of systems that don't really work amazingly well. Like people keep bringing up the friends list as an example, and it's true. It's because the friends list takes forever to load because of the way they've done it, right? It takes forever to load the friends list because what it's doing is it's actually querying all your friends. It's going through and saying, hey, here's your friend. We're going to go ping them to see if they're active, to see where they are, to get their information, to get their class information. Because basically, you bring up their search, like when you bring up their friendship information, you can bring up their search info, the levels of all their current classes, whether they're online or not. You're basically pinging the server and requesting information for all your friends, which is done only when you open your friends list. So you're just flooding the server with a bunch of requests that are just now having to then reach out to the correct, because like all the stuff is stored on its own local server. I think. Obviously, I don't know how their server infrastructure would be. I think the better thing to do would be to just keep a list on the data center itself, a list of all players, where they store all the search info for all players on the data center. So all we have to do is go to the server and request that server to pull information from its list. I don't know if what it's doing is it's actually going to the data center and then using the data center to route the request into your friend's personal server. So if they're on Goblin, like, are you sending a server request to the data center and then it's sending it to Goblin to request that information? I don't know if it's doing that. I don't know exactly how it is, but but it's like redesigning that would be crazy because it's like you'd have to change just how the entire system just works in general, And so in this case, she's like, yeah, their logic cores were never designed to allow fine control like that. In fact, it's actually very much like the Genshin artifact system, right? Like back in the original system, Genshin artifacts couldn't be re-rolled because of how they stored their data, right? Because of how data was stored and how artifacts were leveled. And that's very much like these cores, the Bangu cores. The Bangu cores never allowed for the ability to like segment out data so that you can, roll it back to a previous state or find all the specific data to roll back. All you could do is just hit the reset button and that's it. Whereas now Norma's creating a new system in place to be like, okay, cool. We're going to create a new system where we store only, because all they could do is just segment memory banks, right? You could just be like, hey, we're going to store all confidential information in this memory bank, and that's the only thing we wipe. So it could be that you design a logic core that's able to read memories and store confidential information only in the confidential information location, and then you can just wipe it, and then you can just remove that or wipe it before releasing them, So it's designing a system. But yeah. But of course, as we know, Norma's having problems with memory core, and they're not able to do what we think they should do.
行ってみましょうか。
ボンプがいっぱい。行ってみよう。
Oh, is she going to be thanking Angel? Oh, she actually called her Lady Valuna. Okay, it's because, yeah, they were just... So their fear of Valina wasn't something specifically they did, it was just a general fear of ESD. Oh, she's so hot.
ノルムも天使様に感謝しないといけないのだ。毎日ノルムもやらかして。
じゃあ私もビデオ屋でポンプのストラップをくれた時から空に上がってこうやって治療を受ける。
ちょっとあなたたちまで二人して私を。
Wait, the Porcelalume Bangu? I thought she left us a Porcelalume pendant. Oh no, it was a bang. It was a tiny Porcelalume Bangu. Yeah, I thought you meant like an actual Bangu, like an actual movable, talkable Bangu that was made out of Porcelalume. She just means that little pendant thingy that was just made of Porcelalume.
気持ちは嬉しい。
ベリナのだプロ吉。ベリナとベリーナ前に言ってたのだ。悪口の僕
だからって面と向かって。
今更取り繕ってもあっせーのだ。もうボンプどもからしたらベリナはいい年してビューな。わたんな。
みんなすっかりノルムに影響されちゃって。用事は済んだし。
That was a nice
ホールに帰ろう。
ending. Very. Now the question, of course, is this going to be a? We've wrapped it. Oh hey. Oh yeah, I forgot about these guys.
りんちゃんおかえり。遅かったじゃん。
どうだったりん。なるほど。
ボンプちゃんたちがベリナ様に懐いてくれ。
賑やかなくらいで済んでくれ。
ああ、ただでさえ始まり。
私たちにできるのは本当は噂のエル。
ああ、みんなで今できることをやっていくしかない。 先のことはその時の僕たちに任せるしかないけれど、どんなと。
そういうことで、
そんじゃ俺も
もうこんな時間か。今日は早めに休もう。
Yeah, so the question is this gonna end, or is this gonna be another, like, foreshadowy type thing? Oh,
ず
shit.
っと待ってたよ。
Never mind. I thought it was gonna be like us going to sleep, and then us, having another dream of something, but no, Remiel's right here, so this is
これで
clearly,
一件落着みたい。おめで
this
と
is
う。
clearly where the,
だね。
where the,
私の自覚がなさすぎじゃない
thing, so she's gonna talk about why she's, doing what she's
どうして
doing?
私がここに住んでるって。
Yeah, I assume it's her wings. I assume her weapon allows her to fly and allows her, like,
と目があったら単性バトル？
allows her to kind of, like, make herself invisible to everybody. Otherwise, why would you dress so flashily
動けるのはもちろん
if you actually have to hide extra
お
hard?
友達がいるからだよ。これでも初代うつろがりだし、顔は広い方なんだよね。最初のミス・サンブリンガーとも知り合いなんだから。
じゃあその頃からもうあんたはロスカリファに来てたってこと？
それは別に驚くことじゃないでしょ。あ、今のはワンターンに数えないでおいてあげる。それじゃあ私のターン。結局ボンプに侵食が起きた原因は何だったのかな。
へえ、そこに興味があるのはちょっと意外かも。っていうかしれっと2つ聞いてるし。
私は好奇心いっぱいだから。ケチンボちゃん、教えてくれたら君のターンも2倍ボーナスだよ。
I mean, it's a good deal because we don't know anything.
誰かがボンプに特殊な強毒性のエーテルを植え付けてたってことくらい。それが誰の仕業なのかまではまだなんとも。
彼らは一体ボンプで何をするつもりなんだろうね。まあいいや、次は君のターン。
ギルタブルル、エーテル反応がすごく弱かったサソリみたいなやつのことなんだけど、ひょっとしてレミエ
Really? You're gonna ask about the tiny one? I'd ask about the huge one. The huge one is far more important.
一応どうしてそう思ったのかは聞いていい？
あいつを見たレミエールのリアクションちょっと気になったから。
Okay, so we are basing it off
初
of
見でび
something.
っくりってよりはなんでこいつがここにって感じだったよね。あいつとあいつよりも大きかったやつバシムって命名されたんだけど、あいつらは本当にただのエーテリアスなの？
なるほど。それは君がエーテリアスをどう定義するかによるかな。答えても理解できなかったら元も子もないし。もう一つだけ確認させてほしいな。
Is she the only one who has fingernails like that? I don't think anyone else has had fingernails that extend beyond their fingers. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe we don't see their hands that much.
決死という言葉はある。
Chainer, that's interesting.
算数局の損害レポートは確かに受領。
こっそり入った件は不問って知ったらまたエルダはしかめ彼女そういうところすそうよ、私とリンドベルヌはご自身のうちだもん。でもただでさえ外務警察局を直接助け、
彼らもその後
ありがとう。エルダもリンドベルヌも始まりの主があら
Okay, well then, it doesn't seem likely that she's in league with it then. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, so is it one of the siblings? Cool. Okay. Oh, yeah. Cool. Oh, hey. Oh, no, yes, one of those. Dude. Oh, we haven't met one of the... Oh, I see. It does tell us when we made them. Oh, okay. So she mentioned Enchainer, but then doesn't really tell us what that actually means. Kind of annoying. Oh shit! I forgot about that. Oh yeah, no, I haven't spent my. I have not spent my. I've not spent my things. Okay. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I need to spend my resin, my battery, my stamina, basically. Dang, that's actually going to become kind of annoying if we keep getting new zones that push the HIA further and further away, because the HIA is like where you spend your stamina, so you kind of want to be able to see that at all times. Yeah, then I got to go to the. I forgot we had double drops for the relics for the our equipment. Shit. I do find that kind of annoying that they don't remind you a little bit more. Like, it's actually kind of super annoying. Is that like there's so many systems in place that like over remind you for everything else, where it's like every fucking time I log in, it's like, hey, by the way, here's some more information about like, oh, by the way, here's some more information about, hey, you know those things you've already unlocked? The discoverable things in the new location? Well, guess what? Every single one of them we've put exclamation marks near again. Even though you've already discovered them, even though you've already read them, we're going to put more fucking... Even though you've already fucking discovered them and interacted with them before, you've logged out and logged back in, so we're gonna just make it. We're just gonna pretend that like you've never seen it before, and it's like, come on, man! Like I've already opened these things. Like, could you stop? Like, just keep putting reminders for this bullshit, and then for the stuff that actually matters, like the double drops for the relics, the double drops for your equipment. Of course, no. That's the one time you'd actually like to be reminded every day that there's something to do. That's the one that they just don't bother, and they're like, nope, sorry, like we made it a question mark. We put a little flag next to it to say it's a new thing when it first arrived, but we don't flag you every single day to remind you to do it. And it's just like, come on. It's like, you flag everything else. You flag so many things that are so fucking useless. And not this. God damn it, I was holding that too, and I took damage from it because I took damage from it because I was holding my thing down, but before, and you go invulnerable when you actually start it, but I went invulnerable slightly too late. Even though I was holding it down, there's nothing I can do. It takes you like half a second before you do it, and it just happened to hit in that brief half a second. Okay, how much money? Oh, I do not have enough money. Okay, never mind then. Oh yeah. So there's also, that's the other thing. Now Scott Outpost is now bumped out of the way, so it makes it harder to find. Yeah, I mean, I think they should make HIA. They should make HIA and Scott's Outpost always be at the front of combat. Auto combat. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I will be taking a quick little shower, and then I'll be back on to play more 007 First Light. I am now in. We got fucked in Web Industries, but now we're going to Vietnam, and it's already been amazingly pretty, so I'm looking forward to that. And then after playing a few hours of that, I'll probably play more Tales of Elliot, or Adventures of Elliot, and maybe wrap up my Genshin exploration. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.